What's up guys, this is Balázs from Racing Brick. Yet another LEGO Ideas video in 2 days. This time I have the honor to present you the production version of the 21337 foosball table, or table football. I'm not 100% sure which name is the final one, but you can see the letter on the box. Anyway, as usual I will use the official super high resolution photos and videos to show you all the possible details, but this time there's more, much more. Did you know, for example, that this set got almost cancelled during the development process? I'm sure you want to know more about that. Last week we were in Billund, Denmark at the LEGO Fan Media Days, and I was among the lucky few people who could already see this set in person and also had the chance to talk to the Ideas team in details about the design process, all the challenges they were facing and the difficult decisions they had to make. The original design was submitted to the We Love Sports Ideas contest by Donát Fehérváry, a very talented young Hungarian builder, and he took the grand prize back in 2021. As you might know, that version had a significantly different look compared to the final product. It had more minifigures, more rods, the whole build was much bigger. So, why did the designers have to make this radical change? I will share all the surprising reasons soon, but before that, let's take a closer look at the box. It's an 18 plus set, which is standard in Ideas now, and has 2339 pieces. As you can see here at the front, this is a 5-a-side football with 5 players in each team, and we only have 2 rods on each side. But there are actually way more minifigures, as you might see here on this image on the top. If we check the back of the box, there are 2 11-a-side teams included, just like in the original. There are 22 minifigures altogether, which means 22 legs and 22 torsos, and there are 44 different heads, as there are both male and female characters with various different skin tone shades and 43 different hairpieces. Well, that's an odd choice, so there has to be a bold one. Here's a little stand next to the table where the non-playing characters can sit and cheer for their team, and there's a nice cup here in the middle as well. The stand has another cool party trick. The base acts as a storage compartment for all the different head and hairpieces. This is, by the way, the first non-IP Ideas set with minifigs that have different skin tones, a great opportunity for everyone to be able to build their preferred players. Here you can take a look at one set of minifigs. Remember, this is only half of the head and hair inventory. So, before taking a closer look at the design and the functionality, let's go back for a second to the original fan submission. This had the classic 11-a-side layout with 4 rods on each side, pretty much like a regular foosball table. On the close-up shots you can see that it used standard Technic axles, but as the table itself seems to be 38 studs wide and the longest Technic axle is only 32 modules long, they had to be extended with these connector pieces. Now, I'm not sure if you ever played foosball, but this is not a calm and relaxed game. The equipment does get some real torture. If the LEGO version is meant to be played in a similar way, then these axle connectors here won't stand a chance, they will get disconnected for sure. And this was one of the core challenges of the LEGO design team when they tried their best to stick to the scale of the original design, how to make the set sturdy enough to be actually playable. As they said, this is probably the most tested LEGO product ever. They literally invited hundreds of people for testing, including professional foosball players, and they went through dozens of design variations and solutions. Axles and parts were not only disconnecting during testing, but things were bending and even snapping, as they said several prototypes were practically destroyed. We actually saw 2 larger prototype models during the presentation, and it wasn't difficult to understand why they didn't go into production. One used multiple axles, if I recall correctly, but the other one was even more interesting. It used Technic beams for the rods supported by turntables at both ends. While in theory this solution might have the required rigidity in one direction, unfortunately at this length it is very easy to bend it in the other direction. It could be possible to make it stronger with flip-flop beams, for example, but then it becomes way too bulky and other problems pop up as well. I'm sure there will be people who will instantly have much better ideas than the designers had over several months, but I have to assure you, the team really wanted to have a playable product at the end, and they literally tried everything. They involved the best designers at LEGO, but every step forward generated new issues to solve. Apart from the rods, another issue was the accessibility of the ball on the field. At a bigger scale, there were some dead spots that you could not reach properly with the figures. They also tried custom elements, brick build figures, and probably a whole bunch of other things they didn't mention, but finally arrived to the point where they seriously had to consider if they can turn this idea into a reliable and playable LEGO product or not. There were some choices left, of course, and I think they did the right thing by focusing on the play experience, and they decided to scale the set down. So, there are no new parts in the set, but some of the prints and colors of different pieces are new. We have some nice printed tiles for the field, for example, and some head prints and hair colors are also new. The ball used is not the standard LEGO soccer ball piece. This one has a smooth surface and it's much heavier. As the team said, it's not a new piece either, but it was unclear if the other set or sets where it appears were already released or not. It was not specifically developed for this set though. The rods are made of the longest Technic axles, and several bushes are used for the proper spacing of the minifigures. There's an interesting assembly behind each figure. It is required for the proper balance and stability. There are also score counters on each side. I wouldn't really focus on the play experience itself at this point based on the official materials, as I will really have to test it myself. Could check it briefly during the presentation and the interview, but it definitely needs more time. Way more time and proper testing. It's a serious job, you know. Now about the price. It is 250 euros or dollars, which seems to be a lot of money for a build at this size, but considering the piece count, we can find sets in this price range with less, similar and more pieces as well. So I would say it is definitely not cheap, but the pricing is not surprising. It might look weird as the end result seems to be rather small for a set with more than 2000 pieces used, but as the designers shared during the interview, this volume is practically fully filled with bricks and it is reinforced from every possible direction to make sure that it doesn't fall apart when someone plays with it in a more enthusiastic way. We don't get a sneak peek about the building process unfortunately at this point. Usually the lifestyle photos in the press package show the build at multiple stages, but now we only have this single one where the set is mostly built. It is missing one leg and the covering tiles, but does not reveal much of the interior. But is it worth the price? I will only share my opinion after the build and test, of course. Stay tuned for the detailed building review. Actually, I hope to add even more exclusive background information to the review, but let's keep that as a surprise. Until then, please share your initial thoughts about the set. You can also ask questions and I will do my best to answer them. If you like this video, then please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe with notifications as more exciting LEGO videos are coming soon, including the detailed building review and test of the foosball table. See you next time, bye bye.